Oh man, people are already talking about the Arkham series. It is not what you think, I don't think. Oh man. Alright. How's it going, everyone? I see that a few of you are talking about Arkham Asylum being cancelled, but we're going to get into that in a minute. I don't think it is... I don't think it appears to be what everyone thinks it is. First stream, good to be here. Welcome, the Squid stream. Right, so yeah, we're gonna go into the Arkham series in a second. I keep seeing people talk about that. It's Joe Ever. What's good? Keegan, Colton, welcome. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a late stream tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to stream for. Maybe not, like, super long, but I thought, since I'm not uploading today, you know, I'd stop in. It's not cancelled, right? So, basically, the Variety article talks about the Batverse Arkham series. But the way it's worded, the more it goes on, makes it appear to some people that the DCU Arkham series as well is canned. When the reality of the situation, in my opinion, is that I think they're talking about the Batverse Arkham series, which is something we knew already wasn't going forward. And the DCU Arkham series is still in very, 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 very early development. And as Gunn said, they don't have a script. And you may be asking yourself, why would they make an article like this now then? I don't know. I don't really know. I think they got a source who said that Anthony Campos is no longer attached to the Arkham series, which he was doing the previous iteration. And the odd thing about it, which gets me, is they mention how Gunn tweeted in December about, or over on Threads rather, about how the show is still, like, happening, right? But they misrepresented what Gunn said there. I'll go through the article in a second to be a bit more clear, but yeah, Gunn said that the show was still in active development and clarified that it was meant to be set within the new DC. Gunn never said that the show was still in development. He actually said the opposite. He said that as far as he was aware, it never changed. I always found this odd in the first place, but Gunn replied to me over on Threads saying it wasn't changed. So it didn't go from Batverse to DCU. Then he replied to somebody else saying that, yeah, it's been the DCU from the start. I don't know what permutations it went through before that time, and what he means by before that time is when it was pitched to him by Matt Reeves to be a DCU project. He's saying, all I've ever heard about it was that it was a DCU Arkham series pitch. I have no idea what permutations it went through before that time, but because this article is saying that Gunn said that the show was still in development, as in went from a Batverse series to a DCU series, people are taking it that this article is meaning that the whole shebang is dead. Like, not just the Batverse one, but the DCU one. I think this is a misunderstanding. The Arkham one in the Batverse is dead, and the DCU one is still kind of on the back burner anyway, because I don't expect that to be made anytime soon. If that makes sense, so... Gunn playing dumb with that answer was so annoying. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Morgie. That never made sense to me. Like, what do you mean? Okay, so you're saying that Matt Reeves pitched it to you as a DCU Arkham series? Okay, cool. But you're really telling me that you didn't know of any permutations it went through before that time. So, okay, you were physically in the room with Matt Reeves or on a Zoom call, and he never prefaced that, oh yeah, I was working on a Batverse Arkham series, but for one reason or another, we couldn't get it off the ground, or it wasn't really working the way we wanted it to. So now, you know what, we're going to kind of self-cannibalize it and pitch it to you as a DCU Arkham series. You're telling me he never mentioned that the base concept of it was an Arkham series based off of their own Batman movie. That's something I just, yeah, I agree with Morgie. It does, I'm not like calling him a liar, but it does appear to be playing dumb, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, how do you get a pitch for the Arkham series and not know that it actually did have a previous version of that in the Batverse? That's so incredibly odd to me. By the way, we're going to go through the article in a second. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just waiting for people to get here. I can't promise you that this isn't the case. This is just my opinion of the situation. But I think that if you're just joining the stream, the Arkham Asylum TV series not moving forward at Max is on about the... they're on about the Batverse one, basically. They're not on about, like, the DCU one. Oh, I didn't realize we've even got super chats. I do apologize. He was doing lawyer talk. Did Matt ever say that it was supposed to be in the Batverse in the beginning? Yes, we've got literal video proof of that. So I'm paraphrasing here, but I think it was in an interview. I can't remember if it was with the Cyber Nerds YouTube channel, but he said, and again I'm paraphrasing, but what the idea of the Arkham, the world of Arkham would be like coming off of our movie. Those are the words he used. So that means the Batverse, you know. And he also even went on to emphasize how there could be some stories within that world of Arkham that pertain to the Joker. So obviously, it's without a doubt that the first permutation, if you will, of the Arkham series was the Batverse. Gunn then says, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know of any previous permutations before the time. It was actually pitched to me in PSF ran as actually one of the first things that we picked up at DC Studios as one of our first DCU pitches for us to pick up. And again, now this article is saying, like, it's just, I think, like, the thing about things these days, you know, the ironic thing is it would be funny if I'm wrong, and I will take the L if I'm wrong, but most people just read the headline and they don't read the body of the article. So they see this and they think, oh, the DCU Arkham series is dead. But if you read the DCU, if you read the article, you'll see, in my opinion, it doesn't appear to be that way. Basically. Right, I'm going to get into a couple of super chats and then I'll probably get into the article and read it out. Oh, god damn it, just goes, wait, it's cancelled? So you don't only not even read the headline, you don't even read the body of the article, you just hear me talk about people not reading the headline and you're just like, wait, it's cancelled? Oh, man. Oh, God. Saeed, I swear to God. You'll go on a naughty step again. Cedric, thank you so much, man, for the, Oh, for fuck's sake, Dominic. I can't even tell if you guys are trolling. Like, I genuinely can't. Like, how ironic is it for me to say that people don't even read the headline and now people after that are saying, wait, why is it cancelled? Is it cancelled? What's going on? No! Stop it! I can't tell if you guys are being serious. Right. Oh, God. Right, now I've made this worse for myself, haven't I? Oh, man. This is really just going to keep spreading out. I might have to make a video. I had a video already half edited, but I think I'm going to have to make another one tomorrow now because I don't know. The thing that's awkward about me doing my own clear up videos, like, hey, I'm clearing this up. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right in this situation. And then Gunn could tweet or post a thread that kind of nullifies the video or verifies what I was saying. Do you know what I mean? So, I did post a thread to James Gunn. Not sure if he's going to see it anytime soon. Hopefully he does. But he's a busy man right now, more than ever, so I don't know if he's going to see it. Right, okay, getting to Super Chats, sorry guys. And then I'll bring up the article on the screen so we can actually thoroughly go through it. Troll Nation. Brutal, hello! Got like a giant-ass beer bottle here. Right. If you're wondering, that is not apple juice like many of you claim. Or maybe it is. It's like the most beautiful apple juice one could get. Anyway, Cedric Hogan, that is very, very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for the $20. Let me turn down the alert box because people were saying that was quite annoying actually last time. So today I recorded a video, for those who don't know, well, I suppose you don't know, because it's not up, about what's going on with, like, the Lord Tech suits, the comic book influences, all of that stuff, how this links with the Reverse Kingdom Come theory, so on and so forth. And then I also give, like, the first 10 minutes, like, my definitive answer as to what I think about the suits. I'm still not a fan of them, if I'm being honest. But I kind of expand on that. Why does it do this every time? Where are you? Cedric, finally. I found you. Just got back from kayaking. Glad the stream is today. Again, thank you so much for 20 bucks, man. Man, kayaking. I want to do that. Was it fun? Do you do that regularly? Gun's not filming the rest of the week, so I'd say he's chilling. Yeah, maybe, but it's just hard to know when he's active, right? So, like, will he... I mean, think how many thread responses Gun gets, or, like, mentions, and will he see mine? I don't know. Like, I feel like a bunch of people... Like, I'm just hoping that enough of you guys... Actually, if you have threads, do me a favor and go to my threads and like my threads post, so we can increase the chances of James Gunn responding to what I asked him. Did this article come out? Yes. We're going to get into it in a second. I'll get onto the whole, like... God, no, that is not the right screen. That is from the last stream. Why does this... You know, I really need to sort this out. Look how disastrous this is. Gaming stream. Okay, so... Like, this is all set up from the previous stream. So I need to get rid of all this. No, we don't want to get rid of my webcam. Okay, so we got Corin Sweat in the back. Okay, so we can kind of start off from this when I bring the article up. But, like, this is how much of a messy streamer I am. You should see it. It's like a messy bedroom floor when it comes to all of this. Okay. Right. Anyway, where were we? Okay. Boba the Grey looks weird. No, yeah, I'm still using that. I love how people click on that when they join. Silhouetted Animator, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, dude. Yeah, man, I was gonna tweet about it. Like post quote tweet the story, but I think I was just like. I didn't know what to do at the time. I was just kind of too annoyed. I didn't want to seem insensitive as well. This is kind of how overly self-aware I am. Like, I didn't want to put, like, a for fuck's sake, and then people to interpret that as me, like that the wrong way. I mean it in terms of, like, yeah, Neil Gaiman, if you didn't know, has been... Oh, man. He's been alleged to have done some very disgusting things, I think, with two alleged victims. Believe it was. Now this is so it's like sexual assault. Yeah, I suppose I need to be careful because this freaking stream could get demonetized through saying those two words in combination. But yeah, let's just say assault of a very disgusting kind. Now I want to look into the story a bit more. I don't really know too much about it. I remember like skim reading the top of it, but I do need to get my facts together before I properly like comment on something like that. And obviously this is going to be terribly bad for... I don't know what they're thinking over at Netflix and the Sandman. Oh god, I keep seeing people come in and say they cancelled the Arkham series. Did they though? Did they? That's what we're going to talk about. God damn it. Right, okay. Yeah, they are very disheartening. Boba's gonna be so confused by my super chat. We'll get to it. Thunder Knight. Thank you so much for joining Superhero Membership. Really appreciate that. I've got the list to update, by the way. If any of you haven't seen the list update, it should be done by my next video. So Thunder Knight, you'll be there. Thank you, man, and for all your support on the channel. It's good to see you in the Discord server as well. But Boba, is it cancelled? Oh yeah, I told Brutal off in the Discord server earlier, but then I kind of thought to myself, like, what if it actually turns out that I'm wrong? But I swear to God, I do feel like people didn't read the body of the article first to even kind of question what was going on. Oh, I just realized in this live stream as well, I can reveal some things that I've seen behind the scenes set photos of Superman. And I'm talking the Fortress of Solitude, something that Lex Luthor is building. And I can't show things, but I can talk about it and tease it. But if you don't... And when I say this, by the way, I'm not gonna do it in such a way where I'm like baiting and just being like, oh, look at me and my scoop. I'm not gonna spoil things explicitly. If anything, actually, some of the things that I saw are entirely speculation on my end. I don't know what it is that he's building, but I can tease to you what the fortress looks like if you want to know the design of like the Kryptonian tech in the fortress. And it's one of those things, by the way, where I'm incredibly lucky for that to have happened. It's only really happened every now and again in my YouTube career, so to speak. So, like, I had a source on the Batman that was super solid. I knew that Barry Keoghan was the Joker and what he looked like before the movie came out. I know things about the Penguin, and I've seen things about the Penguin. I'm talking, like, photos within Arkham Asylum and certain characters and stuff, but I can't show it or really talk about it. And now the same thing just happened with Superman. But obviously, I can't show photos. I can't do stuff like that because there's all kinds of repercussions. I don't know if Warner Brothers Discovery would actually strike my channel for that sensitive material. B, more concerningly here would be that maybe it would get back to the person who worked on Superman and they could get fired. But I can talk about it because who knows? Maybe I'm making this up. Not really, but maybe I am, kind of thing. But no, yeah, it's super cool, super cool. But sorry, I will get to that. We'll look forward to talk about that in a second. And then maybe you guys can help me speculate with what I saw, because it's super cool. Are you leaving this stream up? Probably not. Normally, I don't leave streams up, and I did that with the last one because it was kind of like a exception. It was like 3 hours of me answering the same question with new people coming in, like, what do I think about the Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner suits? So that one will probably stay up for a bit longer. I don't really like leaving live streams publicly available. I only like really leaving them to members. I just feel like they flood the channel. It makes it all messy and stuff. So when it's unlisted, it's just like, hey, members can have a link, but, you know. And I find live streams on my channel, until I get more of a professional or, like, you know, until I've got my shit together with streaming and, like, making things a bit more fluid, I feel like it's a very messy bedroom floor vibe. But maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Anyway. I hope you guys believe what I say as well. I hope you guys know my integrity to the point of where I wouldn't, like, flaunt, oh, I've seen behind-the-scenes Superman set photos, unless I actually, you know, had seen them. So I swear to you, on my channel, I have seen it. Very pleasantly surprising, but at the same time, I can't really do anything with them. So, other than just loosely talk about it. So, you know, I'm still really grateful that I've got that insight behind the scenes of Superman. Are the pictures nice? We'll get to that. Some are, like, you know, in progress during the pre-production set building phase. Very happy with the fortress, though. Again, we'll get to that. Sorry, I keep, you know what I'm like. I keep frickin' tangenting, and then I take ages to answer a super chat. Cedric, thank you so much. Another frickin' super chat from Cedric. $10. It's payday. Why the hell not? Thank you, man. That is very kind of you. Sorry, I keep almost frickin' like burping into the mic because I feel like I can't even have like beer, let alone soda, without constantly feeling like I'm about to explode. Anyway, appreciate you, Thunder Knight, for that. And Cedric, thank you very much for your continuous support on the channel, my friend. I'm keeping one eye open on my other monitor just in case, you know, whether he answers me or somebody else. It'd be nice for Gunn to confirm what I'm already thinking. But he might not. He might not. Okay. But brutal. No, I understand what you're saying. How dare you judge me, Boba? Thank you, first and foremost, for the insanely brutal super chat. For those of you who do not know what brutal is on about, I basically cast judgment. I condemned him and told him off. I was like, if you're in my Discord server, you know, people were saying, the Arkham show has been cancelled, and I lay my cards out on the table. I can't tell you for a fact, but I'm dead certain in my own confidence that it hasn't been. And most people weren't reading what the actual article says. And you know what articles are like anyway. The headline reads a certain way, but they're just talking about the Batverse version of the Arkham series. So I kind of slapped Brutal on the wrist there. But again, it's going to be funny if I'm wrong. But yeah, I was only joking, Brutal. I know you know that, though. But thank you so much. I know I keep saying that, but, like, your support means the world. It goes a long way, so... I haven't even got into the article yet, actually. Sorry, I'm just reading some updated posts about it. Yeah. People are still basically battling what... Is it cancelled or isn't it cancelled, basically? Yeah, it's frustrating. Why did this article have to come out? I mean, unless it obviously does mean both, but I don't think it does. Right, sorry about that. Kind of went absent there for a second. So glad I was finally off to work to catch a stream. Welcome, Zach. What was said on the last stream? I just talked about Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner for like 3 hours. But again, brutal. Deeply grateful for that, man. I just realized Halo music keeps playing. What else have we got here? Bit of tavern music, why not? Robert Kirkpatrick, thank you for your first frickin' super chat. I think that's your first one. Shout out to Robert. Yeah, Brutal. To be fair, I think the more he gets mentioned, the more surely he will have to say, I don't know what you guys have seen. Like, knowing Gunn, his response will be quoting the article and saying not true, or like, it is true with regard... No, you know what? Because it's a bit of a difficult situation, because he said, well, he didn't know it, or he didn't know anything about the Batverse version, according to James Gunn. So I don't know if he would quote it and say, that's not true, because partially the article is true, you know? I think he'll be like, I don't know really what's like going on, but all I can tell you is the DCU Arkham series is still a thing, although we don't have a script yet. I think he would say something like that. Unless he actually does come and say, yeah. Or he doesn't answer it at all, and that would be kind of sketchy as well. But anyway, Robert, a couple of questions. Number one, do you think there will be a post-credit scene in Superman? Yes, I do. Number two, which lanterns do you see in the lanterns? Oh, which lanterns do you see in the lanterns? Well, other than Hal Jordan and John Stewart, we know that other lanterns will be peppered in there, according to James Gunn. So I think that'll be Guy Gardner. I think... I don't know who else will appear. It could be anyone, but we're on Precinct Earth. I don't think it's actually going to be so much in space. Okay, guys. Oh, no, I've already read that one out. Don't doubt the Hollywood Reporter is cancelled. It wasn't from the Hollywood Reporter. It was from Variety. And secondly, by the way, as much as major trades get respect, I've got screenshots and receipts of when they've got things wrong before. So you shouldn't always give absolute faith into a major Hollywood trade, believe it or not. Yeah. Again, the Batman Arkham series is dead. We know that. But is the DCU one dead? I don't necessarily think so. And I think the article here kind of misconstrues everything into a complicated situation. All they confirm, I just want, to anyone who's just joined, because we've got like 160 odd people here right now, all, like, the main body of the article, as it unfolds, talks about Anthony Campos's version of the Arkham series. Antonio Campos had come on board to serve as writer and showrunner, right? And that was originally meant to be set within Matt Reeves' Batman. Now, ever since we knew that the Arkham series got pitched as a DCU project, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of assumed that Antonio Campos and that version, and thus him as the showrunner, was no longer a thing. I didn't think that he was, like, evolving into being the showrunner of the DCU series. And so they're talking about how that one is dead. They even say themselves, it is still possible, though, that a new project set within the infamous Gotham City Asylum could be developed in the future. Well, that's funny, because we know that there's a DCU Arkham series. Now, the next point of note in the article is when the article writer says that in a series of social media posts in December of 2023, Gunn said that the show was still in development and clarified that it was meant to be set within the new DCU. That is technically not true. He did not say that the show is still in development, because that infers that that James Gunn said that the show went from the Batverse series and didn't die and it transformed into the DCU one. Because Gunn actually talked about it very specifically, and he said very specifically and that he never heard of any permutations before the DCU one. So let me make that simpler and say that Gunn, apparently, I find this is a whole different subject I can talk about, but according to James Gunn, he knew of no other version of the Arkham series, so that means the Batverse one, other than the DCU one that was pitched to him. So to James Gunn, when he answered me, he said it never changed from the Batverse series to the Arkham series. It was always it never changed from the Batverse series to the DCU one because it was always the DCU one. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say here is that if you're still with me, when the article writer says that Gunn said that the show was still in development, that is a misrepresentation of his words. And because they worded it that way in this article, it seems to people that not only is the Matt Reeves Batverse Arkham show dead, but also the DCU one. I don't think that's the case. I think the DCU one is still alive. But people don't, because this article makes it seem that the Batverse one that changed, and as apparently Gunn said, is still in development, but it's a DCU one. People are thinking that it's all dead in one fell swoop. But no, Gunn was actually pretty insistent to just say it one more time. I know I repeat myself quite a bit, but just to kind of make it clear, I feel like the evidence is more on what I'm saying here, because Gunn was so adamant about how, again, to his knowledge, there was no Batverse version of it. It was always the DCU series. And it was actually one of the first DCU projects him and Peter Safran picked up as a pitch when they came on board as co-heads of DC Studios. So I think this article, I don't know why they've published it. I don't know if Antonio Campos recently put word out, somebody asked him, hey, are you doing that Arkham series? And he's like, no, I'm not attached to that anymore. So that kind of went through the grapevine maybe. And people thought that was relevant news to now, because maybe some people out there assumed that Antonio Campos, the showrunner and writer of the Batverse Arkham series, would still be carrying on to the DCU Arkham series. But do you see what I mean? If that information floated out there, maybe people are thinking, and the source telling the Variety article writer are thinking, oh, the whole thing's dead. I don't think it's that. I know this sounds so unnecessarily complicated, but it actually, unfortunately, is open to a little bit of interpretation right now, even though I think it reads fairly simply. Okay, so the Hollywood Reporter have put out an article now. let me read that one quick before I resume the super chats. I know a few of you have sent those in. Very much so appreciate that. I'll get to it, don't worry. I just want to quickly see what they're saying. Yeah, so The Hollywood Reporter. The gates to Arkham Asylum are closing. A Matt Reeves-produced show for Max centering on the hospital populated by Batman villains is no longer moving forward. But which one are they going to... See, is The Hollywood Reporter making this problem worse? Because are they reporting on what Variety said, or have they got their own scoop? Okay, so let's see what they say about the DCU. This is going to be interesting here. So the gates to Arkham Asylum are closing. A Matt Reeves-produced show for Max centering on the hospital populated by Batman villains is no longer moving forward. The latest iteration of the show had the staircases Antonio Campos set as a showrunner. This is all familiar to me because this was as of the Batverse version. Okay, so they are saying... Originally, the show was set in the world of the Reeves-directed The Batman movie and focused on the Gotham Police Department, taking blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, the idea morphed into something else, with Reeves stating in March 2022 that the show would now focus... Yes, we know all this. Like, this is not saying anything new so far. Okay, so the show was reconfigured as a part of the new DC universe rather than the separate universe that is home to the Batman. They don't really clarify anything. The Hollywood Reporter word it just as ambiguously as Variety. So... At the end, they say, the show was reconfigured as part of the new DC universe, rather than the separate universe that is home to the Batman, as well as the Penguin spin-off show. They don't say if it's dead. Or, like, are they, like, saying the whole thing's dead? I think this is just a re-reporting. I think this is just a re-reporting on a big misunderstanding. I really do. I really do. They're not saying anything new. So, what can I take out of this Hollywood Reporter version? All they're mainly talking about is how the Arkham Asylum spin-off show, as of the permutations it went through with Matt Reeves' Batverse, is dead. They say right at the end that it did turn into a DCU thing, and they don't clarify if the DCU one is still going ahead, which will make people, like fans, think that the whole thing is dead. But this is all based off of the Variety article, in where I think they got things confused in the first place. So, if it does turn out to be that I'm right, this is all to be honest, I would borderline say pretty unprofessional mishandling of reporting. But again, I'll take the massive L if I'm wrong and the DCU iteration is dead as well. Yeah, this isn't going to get cleared up no matter what anyone says. Check the Deadline article. There's a Deadline one now. Okay. Okay, so Deadline, Arkham Asylum. Let's see. Oh, God, here we go. Okay, well, there you... So... The Deadline version of the article, ladies and gentlemen, a planned series in the DC's Batman universe centered on Arkham Asylum is not moving forward at Max for now. Deadline has confirmed the potential Arkham series was being overseen by Antonio Campos, as we know, who was showrunning and writing the Arkham Batverse version. Deadline says, we hear that the project is not necessarily dead. Campos had signed onto the series under the previous DC regime, before James Gunn and Peter Safran took over DC Films. Exactly. So this is what I was saying, like... I felt like it was self-explanatory that since James Gunn said that the DCU Arkham series, to his knowledge, was always the DCU Arkham series, and any previous permutations he's just not aware of, that Antonio Campos's Batverse, Matt Reeves' Batverse version, was dead. And, like, you know, like, and so was Antonio Campos's involvement with any Arkham project. So, again, all of this reporting, I think, is just a stupid misconstruing of the actual events of the situation. The more I'm reading this Deadline article, they mention the December tweets. And it's not, again, I feel like these trades are just re-reporting each other and just bullshitting, saying, oh yeah, we've heard something, but they don't say anything new. So Gunn mentioned in December that the Arkham series was one of the first pitches, and basically they're not offering anything new. They're not saying if the DCU iteration of it is dead. This is embarrassing, in my opinion. And even if I'm wrong, I think it's embarrassing because they're not clearing up with confidence and conviction about the latest iteration of the DCU version that Gunn did say was in very early development, one of the first pitches they picked up, but no script. And again, I want to stress, I don't think there's going to be anything substantial that comes out of that for a long time. Like, I don't expect the Arkham series to, like, you know, get a script for... I don't care how long, to be honest. Like, it's not going to be for a while. But I think that this reporting, you look at the Hollywood Report, Variety reported it first. They, I think, mishandled the wording and everything, and I don't think the article writer, with all due respect to them, fully understood what they were kind of saying. Then the Hollywood Reporter just came out of a story. Basically, it didn't say anything new. They just kind of further emphasized that the Matt Reeves version is dead, and then at the very end of the article they say, well, there's a DCU version, but they don't acknowledge whether that one's still alive or not. And now Deadline have come out and said the same thing, because obviously these other major trades, see, one of the major trades getting a big, well, some kind of new story about Batman, so like we need to report it as well, but not really offer anything new. Because this is why, by the way, like, you know, when I heard how we all heard how Variety had apparently learned that James Gunn and Peter Safran were going to put Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batverse into the DCU. Oh, that turned out to be bullshit. Do you remember how James Gunn literally quote tweeted that and said, not true? I'm just saying to you, yes, these major outlets are more respectable than your, like, I don't know, Twitter fan page outlets, but they're not always the gospel truth. So. Oh, man. I really hope, I really, really, really hope, for my sake as well, but I really hope that Gunn does validate what I've been saying. So far, nothing, no. Boba despises Variety. No, I don't. I think I have a bit of an issue. Like, throughout the years of covering major trades on the channel with new stories every now and again, don't get me wrong, I'm not stupid. Like, they're a major trade, they hire professional journalists, so some of these journalists do have legit sources and where they get scoops. Like, hey, is there a Teen Titans project with the writer of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, you know, Anna Noguera? That could be a legit scoop. Like, that's cool. Like, they're reputable, they actually do have connections. But they're not freaking God. They're not. They get shit wrong as well. They really do. And I think it irritates me because a lot of, not you guys, like chat out there, but a lot of people out there do take them as gospel truth. And a lot of people don't think for themselves. Case in point, where they quite often people do not read. They don't click the goddamn hyperlink to read the article and think for themselves. They just read the headline. They're like, oh, you know, whatever it may be. Always do your own due diligence and then be like, okay, I believe it. Or maybe I don't. Or maybe this is open to interpretation, you know? And again, I know this will sound like a funny, holier-than-thou speech from me if I am wrong and the DCU version is dead, but I still think... I have some points here, and I'm still confident. I'm still confident that I'm right on this one. You should only read headlines. God damn it, Stanley. This is not the lesson we should have been taking out of this rant. Right, anyway, back to the super chats before I rant about that again. Is there a video for today? Unfortunately not. I plan on putting one out tomorrow. But if it's not out tomorrow, it'll be up on Sunday. I didn't plan to only upload 3 videos this week, but it just kind of turned out that way. But I think one thing that bothers me as well, as much as I am grateful for having a YouTube channel with a community, what I'm about to say is an example of how much ripple effect this has when, let's just say, I, hypothetically turn out to be right. I'm going to get people in my comment section saying, Boba, why haven't you covered the Arkham show? The DCU Arkham show has been cancelled. Like, why haven't you covered it? Why haven't you covered it? Boba, have you heard? Boba, have you heard? Boba, have you heard? And it's like, because it might not be true. And it's not that I'm annoyed at those people, but I'm annoyed at how. By the way, my bigger issue with this usually that I go to is other YouTubers, like I would say Grace Randolph, to other, big content creators who put out scoops like they're facts, and people believe it and run with it and believe it, and then they come to me and saying, Boba, what, this is going to happen. I'm like, how do you know that's gonna, just because she said it? Like, you really, what, really? It's stuff like that I see. I think it's one of my biggest pet peeves about online discourse is when you get people having scoops and people believe it like it's a fact. I wish when people would put out scoops, they would put like a warning saying, I believe, I think this is the case. Don't say, this is going to happen. That's the big issue. I would fully respect it if people are like, oh yeah, I've heard a rumor, take it with a grain of salt, Or unless they said something like, I've seen photo evidence, like I'm telling you, like I can't show you guys, but like I've seen a literal recording, then fair enough. That's a bit more believable. Who's going? Anyway. Robert, sorry about that. I think I did answer that one earlier, though. But on to the next super chat. Sequential Archic saying, wait, where is... Oh, no, Thunder Knight, my bad. Oh, okay. Thunder Knight says, I'm excited to hear about the Fortress. I'm excited to tell you guys what I know about it. I mean, it's not like, the way I can describe it won't really compare to showing you it. That's the thing. Boba, are you okay? You look stressed. I'm fine. I think when people, I mean, I appreciate the concern, but I sometimes get passionate, It's not like, oh. Thunder Knight, right there you are. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit more loose in my live streams than what you guys are used to through videos. Don't know what that cut off. Why did that cut off? Aha. Yep, I'll tell you about that in a second. Love the passion, man. Thank you, Simon. Boba wants Banson in the deep. Right, that's it. Fuck you, Said. You're going down. You're going down. That was a joke between friends, okay? Or was it? Right, Sequential Art Chick with the $5 Where have you gone? What do you think about the designs of Justice League in Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League? I don't know if I've seen it. I've seen it floating around, but I didn't really click on it, so maybe I should do that now. Why does this happen? I think I saw the Flash one. My boy looks tired. Wait, me? Damn. What can I say? It's all the vigilantism of reporting that I'm doing. Right, so let me go on Twitter. I think I did see a trailer for this, actually. Ooh. Okay, I like Batman's look. I'm watching the trailer now. To a world like... Aquaman looks pretty cool. Flash looks cool. They all look cool. Is that Damien? I like the look of that sequential. Again, I think it was more of a situation where I saw it on my phone, but I didn't really take it in. But I like the look of that. Clipped. Wait, what's clipped? What did I do? I need another one. I'd support a vacation vlog on Boba's channel for real. I could do one day. Yes, they have Damien. Time travel? Wait, what? Time travel? Wait, they time traveled back to that point. I had no idea. I haven't seen the first Batman Ninja. I don't know if that's bad to say, but you guys know me. I'm quite behind on animated stuff. So. Brutal Vengeance. Back at it again with an insane additional 50 freaking dollars. I can't. Right, you know what? Right, I'm gonna start a poll. There we go. I wish Boba was a good friend. Hello, Pupper. Like, this is like the first time I've seen you in the stream in like, I feel like months. Months and months. Right, I'm just double checking about the Arkham show, by the way. If I keep like looking like I'm spacing out, it is because I'm just making sure that nothing else has been said. Because you do it on Fridays? No, I mean, this is the... Wait, maybe I have streamed the last... Oh, no. Oh, wait. Wait. It has been confirmed now that the Penguin series is releasing on September 8th. This could be good. This could be good. And you guys, some of you may know, but I'm going on holiday. Well, vacation for only like 5 or 6 days. And I think it's September 9th. And this means I should be able to do it. I should be able to do my first review, go away for 5 days, and still be back in time for the next review. That is good. That is really good. I think that all lines up. I don't think I'm busy the day before. Hopefully not. Jesus. And hopefully, I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll have screeners, so I'll be... Okay, so... Yeah, Calerian. Hopefully I'll have screeners, but the reason why I was still worried is because you can't, you know, you're not really allowed to, obviously record screeners because they got like watermarks saying, you know, copyright, blah, blah, blah. So I was worried that I could maybe record a review if I do get granted screener access, but I wouldn't be able to show footage in the video, so that would be a kind of bit of a boring review, maybe, for people. I would have still uploaded something, of course, but now the episode will be out, so I'll be able to actually show some episode footage, so... Looks like the gods have blessed me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, brutal super chat. Wait, how many people have voted? Yes, yes, very brutal. Boba told me that the Fortress of Solitude is actually Lois's bedroom. He told me directly, guys. This is true. This is true. It is in... I mean, I was... No, you know, I'm not going to go there. Lois's bedroom being a fortress of solitude. That, I mean, that might be true for Clark, after all. I suppose it's not solitude because he's not alone. But I suppose it's some alone time. They made time for you. I'm just glad that I'll be able to do a Penguin review. Anyway, Brutal, thank you so much for an additional $50 frickin' super chat, man. That is, you know, I would have Solitude with Rachel Brosnahan, not gonna lie. Pup! How dare you objectify the gorgeous woman? That is absolutely disgraceful. I'm gonna cancel you now. Anyway. Right, no, wait. Speaking of the Fortress of Solitude, I'll be able to talk about that in a second. Pup objectifies women. Confirmed, you heard it here first. Do I really look that tired? I don't think I do. I feel like I just look like my normal self. You never invite me to your streams. I wish I was... I mean, I never get invited to your streams. And that's not true. You have literally been in my streams before. So that is factually false. Oh my god. Francesco, this is how I know that you do not care about me. Boba, did you watch the latest episode of The Boys? If you are a true subscriber, which to be fair, I don't know if you are or not, you would know that I've got a whole ass... My last upload on the channel was my review for The Boys Season 4, Episode 6. So. Francesco. I have seen it, yeah. But it seems that you haven't seen that I have seen it. I mean, my boys' videos don't do that great, but I still want to cover it on the channel regardless. It's like when I was doing Westworld. I kept, like, persisting, and then the videos ended up actually doing quite well. He's got a different account, Brutal. Pup's a bit of a strange man. He likes to be like a snake and shed his skin in the form of a crisis. So, like, he'll create 3 other YouTube channels, and then he'll ditch that. He'll create a different Twitter account. Then he might go back to his original one. I'm waiting for that one to happen. Who knows what's next? Chimichanga, it is not as it appears to be. Trust me. Well, don't trust me, but I think it's a big misunderstanding. The Arkham show is something we already knew, which wasn't going to happen with regards to Matt Reeves' Batverse. But the DCU Arkham series could very well still be alive. I think there's a big misunderstanding going around right now. Basically. Right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get another drink. So enjoy the newbie music while I go to my BRB screen. Talk amongst yourselves while we play the Daily Boba. Alright. We're back. Did you just say I stink? I slink? What? Pup's not a real Spider-Man fan. He's never seen the Raimi films, by the way. He just pretends that he has. Red, black for Nightwing, or blue? Blue for me. Yeah. I do get the red, but blue is just the way it is for me. Brutal! I didn't realize you're going. I gotta head myself, guys. Take care, and hopefully you'll see you on Sunday if Boba streams. Join the Discord. Boba might judge or not judge you. God, you're gonna hold that one against me, aren't you? I mean, don't get me wrong. Hold it against me if I end up being wrong. But if I'm right, then my parenting, if you will, applies. If that makes sense. I really hope that Gunn doesn't remain quiet on this one, because it's going to be one of those thorns in my backside for like the next few months until something eventually does come of it, you know? Just rereading the article again. Anyway. We shall end the poll. Year 8 edits. Right, okay, where were we? I swear whenever I go for like 2 minutes, we drop like... We had 170 odd people in here, and then boom. I say I'm gonna be right back. Just gonna have a piss, get a drink, and then... We're at 139. But it's okay. But we're going to drop a news roundup today. Unfortunately not, and I probably won't until next week. I was going to make a news roundup today, but the video I made today is more kind of going ham on Superman. We're going to have to wait and see. But like, I've got a video planned for tomorrow, if not Sunday, but a news roundup on Monday maybe. Depending on how things go, because there are some other things I can talk about, like the Lobo thing with Supergirl. That's interesting, and some other little tidbits like the frickin' squirrel that was seen on the set of Superman and how people were thinking that is a certain character. But I feel like I needed to go over Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner a bit more, get into Lord Tech, get into Maxwell Lord, get into, you know, the Justice League International, to that of the Conglomerate, to that of frickin' other things. That thought has crossed my mind as well, Michael. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wonder Woman game was in the DCU. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a weird way to debut a major Diamond character through it out of a video game. I feel like a Trinity character probably should have a live action appearance first, but you never know. It probably isn't going to be in the DCU anyway. Did you talk about The Boys yet? I haven't in the live stream, but I've done my review if you haven't seen it already. People are now DMing me about it on Instagram. I don't think so, Lex. I think the Superman suit's going to remain the same. And I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if the Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner suit is going to remain the same as well for the rest of the movie. Although I do think, obviously, there is a chance of them being inspired by, you know, Superman being like one of the few heroes to not be a corporate sponsored hero. So they may get their own individual suits, but I wouldn't rely on that, obviously. I don't want to call it a cope because it is a logical speculation that people will say, but I don't think you should be like, oh, you know, the Lord Tech suits are, you know, they're going to get different. I mean, they will get different suits, of course they will, but like, will it be in this movie? I can't guarantee that, you know. Okay. Right, Thunder Knight. Oh yeah, right. After this, I'll talk a bit about the photos. Thunder Knight, thank you very much for the $5, man. I had a theory about Luthor being a major player in the hero industry. Now I think that Luthor is falling behind with Lord Tech, so he makes the clone. Well, funnily enough, I do speak in the video I made today about how if Maxwell Lord is basically doing an iteration of, you know, the conglomerate, the Justice League International to something else, basically corporate, like, sponsored heroes, then there's no doubt in my mind that Luthor Corp, to that of Stag Industries, to whatever, have other metahumans enlisted. So for that of Lord Tech, they have, you know, Maxwell, not Maxwell Bloody, well, they have Maxwell Lord handling it, but Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl. Metamorpho, I think, is still up in the air, and I go on about that in my video. But Luthor Corp could have the engineer, pre-authority. Does that make sense? So I think Luthor Corp's already got, like, maybe, like, the engineer, maybe the Black Noir-esque figure. Like, I know people say Ultraman or Ulysses, but let's just say Black Noir for now. So I think he's already got, like, I think it's a thing. I think in the Reverse Kingdom Come theory, in a world that's overrun by metahumans to vigilantes to wannabe heroes to whatever, you've already got a lot of corporate-sponsored heroic teams, and this just further emboldens the disdain that Lex Luthor has for this one man in a red, funny red sheet, doing his own thing, you know? So, yeah, we get into that. The issue is, I still don't think I can use the suit pictures in my video tomorrow. Which is so annoying. I was hoping that, like, one person out there would have, like, got a Hawkgirl picture or something, but nobody really has. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm going over a lot of comic book stuff anyway, so I've got a lot of comic book images to show. Right. We are up to date with the super chats. Now, let's move on to what I've seen of Superman. Amari, I'll fly to Cleveland. You'll be my own little Boba Olsen. I mean, who knows if we're gonna get... I know every other YouTuber shows these photos, by the way, but I think I'm a bit paranoid about it because A, I've been burned before, but B, this specific place, Cleveland.com, that is taking all of these good pictures, has expressively told me through email, no, like, we do not give you permission. So, like, does that mean if I go and do it, they're gonna be like, strike? I would appeal the strike, though, because absolutely it's within the laws of fair use. But that's where it's a bit of tit for tat. Like, they'll be like, well, fuck you, we still didn't give you permission. I'll be like, well, fuck you. It's, you know, I'm legally allowed to use copyrighted material under fair use and fair dealing laws. But it's hassle that I don't want to deal with, so I don't really want to risk it. Anyway, okay, tea time. Right, okay, let me, right, so, I have seen the Fortress of Solitude in James Gunn's Superman from the outside, like going in, and I've seen I can only say I've seen one portion of the set on the inside of the fortress. I don't know if they have loads of other rooms, like trophies, to other things, and it's important for me to stress that I saw this during, like, a phase of, you know, set construction. So obviously it's like in process, in whatever, I can't speak right now. I saw Lex Luthor, like, so by the way, I'm not going to give away major spoilers because what I'm describing, I don't know how to categorize it. Like, I can't figure some of it out. The only spoilers I have to offer you is well, I can describe to you what the fortress looks like a little bit, right, from what I've seen. I can describe to you that Lex Luthor is building something, but I don't know what it is, but I've got speculations, and I can detail you what it looks like. Other than that, the only other things I saw were just, you know, like the LexCorp offices, the set being built for that, possibly the Daily Planet. What else did I see? But they're kind of like ambiguous descriptions. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I could say, oh yes, Lex built this thing that he's gonna fly around and he's gonna teleport into this building with the device and then blow it up. No, I don't know that. I don't freaking know. But anyway, what I'll say, let me get it up right now. I'm going to look at the photo actively. I mean, hope that it doesn't reflect anywhere. Right, let's have a look-see. Okay, right. So, the Fortress of Solitude. One thing I'm very, very, very happy about, I mean, you know, this wasn't guaranteed, but like crystals. The front of it, from what I'm seeing right now, big-ass crystals. So I've said to you guys that I wanted a, you know, Christopher Reeve type inspiration of crystals. Now, I don't think it's going to be like, you know how it's like, you know, like dozens and dozens and dozens of crystals like that. I think this is a bit more minimal. Again, I want to stress to you, I can see above the crystals, like the, you know, the above ceiling to the warehouse. So it's important to stress what I'm saying right now might not be reflective of like the backdrop they'll have on the screen in the movie and things like that. But the opening to it, or at least what I'm looking at, which I think is the opening, has big ass robust crystals. Like, we're talking like 20 plus 30 feet tall. But that's not really the thing that interested me. The thing that interested me more was the kind of console station that I'm looking at in the fortress. So what I'm looking at right now is within one of the rooms in the Fortress of Solitude, in the backdrop, you have like these nice little ice formation of crystals coming out. Again, like here they're more like 6 feet tall to 8 feet tall to like going up to like 10 to 15 feet. Like they're coming out in thick, robust kind of crystal, bloody, giant-ass things. But in front of it seems to be a long console. So like, you know, I've got my desk here, right? I've got monitors on it. This is like a slightly longer desk. I would say like, if I was stood there, it'd be like maybe 2 desks going into one, and it kind of goes round a bit. Not like round, but it's not dead ass straight, but it kind of goes like this a little bit. Now, on that design, it feels really steampunky to me. Like if any of you are Doctor Who fans, it's all like silver chrome looking. It reminds me of like an iteration of the TARDIS console, but I couldn't really give you any specific Doctor iteration. But what I'm trying to say to you is that it really does feel like, no, you know what James Gunn's production has been before with like what were they? Were they the Ravagers or whatever they were called? Yeah, mixed with steampunky Doctor Who stuff. Big circles there, like this little station with like a little disc ball thing on it. It looks like Kryptonian tech. Like basically, I'm looking at some kind of. So no. That's one thing I will say, yeah, Willie, is that it's not a crystal-based console. At least from what I can tell right now, like it's blatantly not a crystal-based console. Now I don't know if in one of the machines that they, you know, I'm seeing something go round and it has thin little lines going up it. So I don't know if they're like smaller crystals. But what I can tell you is that the whole console is absolutely metallic. It looks like a Doctor Who TARDIS console kind of station. The biggest feature of it are these little round, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like 11 different circles, each one of like varying sizes. And then on like the desk itself, you get this kind of alien, again, like console kind of apparatus there. And right behind the console, by the way, are like these giant ass crystals coming out of it, like coming towards the console. So it's obviously, I don't know, like I can't tell you that this is the main console. Like this is just one snapshot that I've got of one corner of the interior of the Fortress of Solitude. I need to stress that. Like, it could be massive. This could be one little station that isn't the main station in the fortress that Clark uses. I'm not saying this is where Jor-El pops out of. There's no evidence of Jor-El here. I'm not saying he's made his suit here. I don't know what these these machines can do at this console station. All I'm telling you is that I'm seeing a bunch of crystals and a solid-ass alien-looking Kryptonian station. And, you know, there could be a lot more. And it's really cool seeing it. Because, again, I wouldn't, you know, it's not the kind of thing where I'm like, oh, Boba, do you really like being spoiled of this stuff? All I'm getting a look at is, like, it's like the equivalent of me winning a surprise visit to the Superman set and getting a glimpse at the console station. Does that spoil anything for me? No. All I've got here is an insight at what it looks like. And I'm very grateful of that, by the way. It's really cool to, like, see inside David Corenswet's Fortress of Solitude. But, I'm not saying that I know major things. Like, it's cool seeing it. The way I would say to you, right? Imagine in Robert Pattinson's Batcave, you see the frickin' desk he has, the stand-up desk where the Bat computer is that he leans over on. You'd be like, okay, cool. I see it. This is cool. I'm getting vibes of the design, the production design of the Batman Bat computer equivalent. But, like, does it really give much away beyond that? No. So what I'm telling you here is that I'm looking at, like, a Kryptonian computer station with ice crystals popping up behind it, and it looks sick. But I can't say more than that. But what I am more intrigued by the way, other than that I'm just happy with, like, the rough design I'm looking at here of the Fortress of Solitude, is what Lex Luthor is building. Now, that photo is super intriguing to me. Very intriguing. Very intriguing. Simon says, do you like it? Yep, I like it. Fortress of Solitude is cool, but, like, no matter what, I need to stress to you guys, what I'm looking at right now doesn't have, like, the CGI aspects to it. It doesn't have, like, the blue or green screen behind it where they would, like, add more fake kind of crystals in it. But what I can see is, like, the front formations of the ice crystals. It looks like the entrance to me. And then I can look at another photo here in where it seems to be a corner of the interior of the Fortress of Solitude, where imagine if you walk into one of your rooms in your house, there's, like, a computer desk in the corner, like a Kryptonian alien desk. And there's, like, ice crystals behind it. That's what I'm looking at. I can't really say too much beyond that. I can't tell you. Yeah, so there's a lot of practical sets here, Stanley. Like, I'm not looking at CGI here. What they're building here is absolutely a practical set. Like, there's again, I can't really begin to explain it. It's like ice crystals. I'm looking at physical ice crystals that go anywhere from, like, 4 foot tall to, like, 20 foot tall. They're of varying sizes, but you can evidently tell they've done, like, the nearest area, and then behind that, it's not like they're going to build the whole Fortress of Solitude, so they'll expand that with visual effects, I'm sure. So when I say this is a real set, what I mean by that is, like, they haven't made this in the ice. I'm not trying to get across that impression. I'm saying that you've got production designers here who have built crystals, and they've built fake, like, so what I'm looking at with the outside look is you got, like, crystals going up like this, right? Like, all of these crystals going up. Now, right to the side of the entrance, the triangle of crystals, are these rock walls. You've got these rock walls right here. And they just look like, again, fake kind of production design rock. So I wonder, you know, we know they shot it in Norway, so I don't know if, like, the formation of the Fortress of Solitude kind of goes back to the original Fortress of Solitude where it was in a mountain. Yet they've also added in the Christopher Reeve ice crystal inspiration in there, and where you've got the crystals out at the very front of it. So imagine, like, almost mountainous cavern-like sides, and then on, like, in the middle of the sides of the cave, you've got these crystals going up, and then you go in. And when you're in there, there's, like, a little Kryptonian alien station. But then, again, I'm not really dropping bombshells here. I'm just happy that I like the look of the crystals and shit and the alien tech. I want to know like what what I'm looking at. There's like these little discs. Like, so imagine on my desk here. Imagine if I had a little thing going up like this, and if there was like a little ball, like a little metallic silver chrome looking ball. Like you've got one of those either side of the desk. And this bit gets thicker, and there's like little lines going down it. So I don't know if they're meant to be ice crystals or if they're like vials of something. And then like to the next of it, you see big hollow circles. They almost look like satellites, or, you know, if you had a fan like that was mounted on your desk. So imagine if you mounted it like this boom arm here. Imagine if on the end of this boom arm, there's a big circle. They've got plenty of those. It's almost like this scientific station for Kryptonians. I don't know. It's all one color though. That's the fascinating thing. It's all like this gunmetal-y silver chromy look. You're describing a yeah, maybe I was. I don't know how that sounded, but yeah. I wish I could show you guys, but like I assume you've got the gist. But I haven't got onto the Lex Luthor thing, because what Lex Luthor is building is very intriguing. So for those of you who want to know, Lex Luthor has this kind of, how can I say it? It's like a little capsule pill-shaped thing. It's very aerospace. So you can so like outside the front of it, it's all circular, right? Again, like imagine like taking a pill, right? You walk in it. At the very end of it, again, like, and as you're going into this, it's almost like, you know how like the rocket detaches and then they come out in this little kind of pill-shaped thing. Imagine if it's that. You go into it, the shuttle, and you got all of these very thick, sci-fi-esque lumps of gear poking out the wall. But at the very end of it, it glows red. Like, I'm talking like this insidious crimson red, like it's powering up. Now, I've heard Lex uses this to get around. Like, I don't know, like, so when I first heard that, I was like, was that what Lois and the Daily Planet crew were using to get out? You know how we saw that little doorway on the Metropolis street? I was like, did they somehow hijack Lex's thing? I don't think so, but it kind of seems like that. But it's not that. Apparently, that's not it. This is something separate. Like, what the Daily Planet crew were coming out of was a Mr. Terrific ship, as far as I'm aware. But what I'm looking at right now, Luthor is definitely into his sciencey-biancy stuff. And it does look like what I can imagine to be a clone chamber. By the way, I need to repeat myself here like a couple of times. I don't think this is necessary. I can't tell you that this is a clone chamber. I'm not saying it's a clone chamber, okay? Like, for sure. But it looks like almost something that's powered up to be a clone, like creating Ultraman or something like that. But that wouldn't make sense with what I've heard, because again, apparently Lex Luthor uses this pill-shaped kind of capsule to get around, like to travel places. I don't know what that means, but there's another thing about it, by the way, in how on the very outer edges, so like imagine if you're walking into like a shuttle, right? Like a little pill-shaped shuttle. And there's only enough room for like you to walk in there by like a meter or two. Your doorway to that would be a big circle, right? It would be, right? The entry is a circle. You walk through the circle. But on the outside of the entryway of the circle, you have these little kind of blue crystallized little... I don't know if it's goo or if it's like this crystallized kind of... I can't even really explain it, but... Basically, on the entryway, on the outer shell of the door, it has... Like, you have the circle here. Basically, on each corner of the circle, every, like, 25, 30, whatever degrees, you have, like, this blue gunk. I don't know if it's gunk or if it's a hardened material, but I don't know if that means something. I don't know if that's through traveling. I don't know if that's a byproduct of the fuel or if it's some weird shit that creates cloning. I don't know. And again, I don't really know what this will be worth unless I shared it, you know? But all I know is that's Lex Luthor. He's building that. And it's very, very... When you look at it, it's very interesting. And by the way, I wouldn't have given this much away. Like, I've got stuff about the penguin that I know, but I've been told not to share it. But with this one, I was like, hey, can I say this? And they were like, yeah, basically you can say this, you can say that. And luckily I was... But, you know, what really at the end of the day is it? Like, I can't really show it. So without that, you guys, your imaginations are probably going wild right now. So... Okay, so for anyone who just joined, I'm describing set photos, though. So, like, I'm talking, like, photos you can only get if you work on the film that I've been sent. Long story short, I've been sent photos of the Fortress of Solitude from the outside and the inside. Only 2 of them. And then I've also been sent something that Lex Luthor is making. And it's like this kind of capsule, this kind of pill-shaped little shuttle-y thing that he makes to get around the place. And I can tell you that it's very steampunk, aerospace. On the inside, there's all of this, like, imagine all of these kind of, like, power modules, like, poking around the place, like the inside of a 1960s rocket or something. But then at the end, there's a circular red thing. Like, this circular red... It's like it spins or something, I don't know. But whatever that is at the back... So, again, imagine if it's like a pill, like that. When you walk into the chamber at the end of it, you just see this red light, just like this, like it's powering up. I don't know what it does, though. No idea what it does. But this is all legit. I'm telling you now, absolutely legit. But basically, when we see it, I will be saying to you, aha, I told you, that is what I was on about. But you don't really know what much more to say than that. I mean, I could draw it, but I'm worried that any kind of angle that I start drawing could get back to the person. And, you know, I don't want them to lose their job, because if they lost their job, that would be a black mark on their resume and they wouldn't be able to get hired in the movie industry again, you know? So, it is what it is. Yeah, I think it does seem to be some... I mean, I think the impulsive thing to say is that it's some kind of cloning chamber. But I had it described to me that it was a way of Lex Luthor getting around. So when Cedric is saying maybe a transportation tube, yeah. But then I think to myself, where does he need to go? Why does he need to use this thing to get anywhere? Like, why? Like, is he going off Earth? Are we really going... Like, is Luthor going off Earth? I don't think so. A boom tube? Ask Jackson to draw it. Well, that means I would have to send him the picture. Let me look at boom tubes again. See if there's any inspirations. I mean... all I see on Google Images with boom tubes are like just a portal opening, whereas... I mean, I guess you could say this is like Lex building some apparatus that creates a boom tube, but I don't know why Luthor would need to go to use, you know, extra dimensional travel things. Also, by the way, one other thing I was sent that I don't know what it is at all. Let me look at it on my phone. I need to actually go to the DMs to see it. There's these cubes. I don't know what the hell these cubes are. There's like a stack of cubes. Like, they're almost like they're big ass cubes. They're blue, and they have like a kind of light, like on the edge of the squares, like the perimeter of them. They're kind of lighter colored, but the square faces are blue, and I have no idea what that shit is. Like, there's a whole stack of them that go up at least like 20 feet. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's like at least 10 of the cubes there. And I want to show you them, but I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. But they're taller than a ladder. So imagine like a ladder that you actually get out and you pull it. It's like almost double the height of that. They're stacked up. And I've zoomed in on the pattern on the cubes, and I'm not familiar with them. Like, it's some kind of there's a pattern there. There is a pattern there, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what Luthor's up to. But you know how I said that at the end of the capsule, it glows red. When it's not glowing red on the other photo, it's got that blue. It's got that blue like material there. So I don't know if that's like a fuel source. Like after using it, it's got that like little fuel source maybe. And by the way, I know like this is very real because guess what is behind the little Lex Luthor device that he's making? Behind it is the very backdrop kind of curtain for this. You know in the Superman suit reveal, you had the city in the background. Well, they've got like the thing there. They've got the thing there for it. So it's like the exact same thing. Zeta beam, maybe. I don't know. It's too hard to make out. I just don't know. I've been trying to figure it out, but all I know is that Luthor's building some kind of device. Corona Boba. I don't think they're necessarily Zeta beams. But who knows? There could be tech implemented there. Right. But yeah, I think that's more or less all I have to say about the set photos that I've got access to. I did get a DM from somebody the other day who had a good theory about what the ball in the sky could be. Okay. They think it could be, let me show this on screen. I want to look into this myself. Ah, why does it always download like that? A bloody JPEG large. This thing. So yes, I'm aware that this is yellow. But I think this guy could be onto something. With the inspirations that are happening. So it's from Justice League International. So Marcel sent this to me on Twitter. And trying to read what he sent me here. So, meanwhile, a large mysterious satellite hovers unseen above the Earth. Something activates from deep inside, and it suddenly discharges a gigantic red death ray that begins sweeping across the oceans of Earth. Right? And if you look closely at the pink kind of, like, glowy thing, you should see that it actually has like these little lines throughout it, which I feel are similar to the lines that are on this thing. I don't think it's like a little portal. I think it is something likened to this, so to speak. I don't know who would have made it, though. Like, why would Luthor make that kind of thing? I don't think he would, per se. It's not like he wants to destroy the world. He wants to be loved by the world, and he wants to be the man of tomorrow, so I don't know. But I'll have to look into that theory a bit more, but that was on my mind, this thing. I am going to read that comic issue and see what happens. Alright. I need to refresh my stream. It is not up to date. Luthor wants to get tech into the DC multiverse. Maybe. I'm gonna have to look up like as many cubes as I can look at and see what they are. They're kind of like big mother boxes, but with a bit more of like a pattern of lines on them. Like lines, you know, they're blue on the side of each square and there's little lines going around it. I don't know what they are though. The video game inspired shield. I don't think it'll be a shield, maybe. But I don't get why it'd be sending out like a ray, like a big ass death ray. Gunn still hasn't replied to anyone. I mean, I don't blame him. He's probably like relaxing as much as he can. Given that they're not filming today or tomorrow, I don't think. Rumors it would be Lobo and Supergirl. Yeah, I'll cover that. If not soon, maybe Monday. To be fair, guys, with that being said, I'm probably going to end the stream here. Been going for a bit longer than what I thought. So it's been a fun hour and a half. I might cover those set photos that I've got to look at in a video, maybe a bit more concisely, if you will, just for all of those of you who weren't in the stream. I'll be like saying, okay, so, you know, the fortress has crystals. Who would have guessed? But I guess it might not have, right? If they were doing something drastically different. And I'll just say what I can. I'll do a bit of research in the meantime. Hopefully a new video tomorrow. If not, I will upload it on Sunday instead of streaming. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, guys, hope you have a lovely Friday night. See you later, Scott. See you later, Clarion, Cedric, and everyone else. I'll see you in the next video. By the way, actually, before I leave, do me a favor and join my Discord server. If you have social media, I'm BobaTalks on everything, Instagram, Twitter, /BobaTalks. So very easy to find me. And join the link in the live chat right now. Goodbye.